Hi, I'm Rochelle Travers, and this is the Standard's Tech and Science Daily podcast. Coming up, the science of goosebumps, and why we might get them more often than we think. Now, let's get into it. TikTok says it's tackling a cyber attack that targeted a number of high-profile accounts, including Paris Hilton and CNN. The social media platform's parent company, ByteDance, has said the number of accounts compromised is very small. It's been confirmed that CNN were locked out of their account, but the American news outlet is yet to comment on the incident. ByteDance added that they were working with affected account owners to restore access if needed. Experts say a Russian group of cybercriminals was behind an attack which forced major London hospitals to declare a critical incident.
So on Monday, NHS staff at King's College Hospital and Guy's and St Thomas's NHS Trust were told that a massive cyber attack had occurred, which affected mainly the pathology services. And that meant that thousands of blood tests, the data on these blood tests was gained by hackers.
That's Daniel Keane, the Standard's health reporter. He's been explaining the scale of the disruption caused.
So you've got King's College Hospital, which is in South East London. You've got Guy's and St Thomas's NHS Trust, which runs the Royal Brompton and also the Evelina London Children's Hospital. So that's for children with cancer and rare illnesses. And also a lot of primary care services in London, so GPs. And anyone, essentially, that carries out blood transfusions.
It's still unclear how much of an impact the cyber attack has had and how long the knock-on effects could be felt for.
So the issues are still ongoing, and the trusts are yet to comment on how many operations and procedures they're likely to cancel. One senior NHS source told the Health Service Journal today that the issues were likely to last for weeks.
A former chief executive of the National Cybersecurity Centre has reportedly identified the group responsible for the attack.
The group that was likely to be behind this is a Russian group of cyber criminals called Keane. Now, they've attacked a variety of different organisations in the past few years, including the Big Issue. And what these groups do is they will essentially target a group like the NHS or a hospital and then demand a ransom. And what is going on now is potentially negotiations or talks with this group to try and make sure that data doesn't get released on the dark web.
Now, ever wondered about the science behind goosebumps? Well, listen up.
Goosebumps or piloerection, call it piloerection to refer to the actual physiological response. Under your skin at the base of your hair follicle, you have a little muscle called the erector pili muscle. And that contracts and that sort of pulls your hair follicle down and pulls your sort of skin together and causes your hairs to stand up, and it causes those little bumps to form around the base of your hair follicle.
That's Dr. Jonathon McPhetres, Assistant Professor of Biological Psychology at Durham University, and lead author of a new study which suggests we might be getting goosebumps a lot more often than we think.
We noticed in our studies that people were not reporting when they actually have goosebumps.
More than 600 people across 3 studies were asked to watch a range of positive video clips and press a button when they felt they had goosebumps. At the same time, equipment recorded their skin temperature and heart rate, and observers regularly reviewed footage of their skin. In another part of the study, people were asked to watch a video and then click on an image of the body to indicate where they thought goosebumps had appeared. Most of the people in the research experienced goosebumps more frequently than they were aware of, and only tended to pay attention to their forearms, with many not pressing their button despite goosebumps being visibly present. Dr. McPhetres says the findings could actually reveal a lot about humans.
People are not really very aware of what actually goes on in their bodies. I think that we like to think that we are. I think we like to think that we know how we feel and what's actually happening to our bodies. But if we miss something so obvious as goosebumps, how much can we really trust about other reports of what's actually happening in your body? And if this is the kind of main method that researchers are using, simply asking questions about what's happening in people's bodies, are there better ways that we can study these things?
And it turns out that our whole perception of when and why we get goosebumps might be a bit off.
Many people think of goosebumps as indicating something like fear or awe. But in all of our research altogether, it shows that goosebumps are really disconnected from all of these things.
The findings were published in the Psychophysiology Journal. Let's go to the ads. Coming up, are women mentally sharper when on their period? And brace yourself for the possibility of unskippable ads on Instagram. Welcome back. If If you're a woman who dreads that time of the month, well, there might actually be some hidden benefits to it, because research suggests women make fewer mistakes while on their periods. Experts discovered that women experience fluctuation in mental agility throughout their menstrual cycle, with faster responses and fewer mistakes when they're on their periods. A team from University College London and the Institute of Sport, Exercise and Health studied a group of 241 people who completed online tests designed to mimic team sport responses, and whose mood was recorded together with their symptoms. Writing in the journal Neuropsychology, the researchers said that a significant proportion of females felt their symptoms were negatively affecting their cognitive performance during menstruation on testing day, but that in fact didn't match up with their actual performance. Next. Analysis shows that Asian hornets have survived the UK winter for the first time. Officials are asking the public to report any sightings of the insects this summer, but say the development is not believed to be evidence of an established population. It comes as nature groups warn there could be a surge in invasive non-native species, and there were record sightings of the hornet in the UK last year. And finally, brace yourself people, because Instagram is testing unskippable adverts, and it's reportedly already making users want to scream. The social media platform currently allows people to swipe or scroll past adverts that appear in the main feed, as well as in its stories and reels. But it's now trialing a feature called Ad Break, which users can't flick past. Images shared online show a timer which counts down to 0 before normal functionality can resume. Parent company Meta has said it's always experimenting with new products and ad solutions in line with the evolving consumer trends and business needs. If you're up to date, come back at 4 p.m. for the Standard podcast for all the latest news and analysis. Tech and Science Daily will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. See you then.